There have been a lot of people facing challenges to quit masturbation. A lot of Christians, those that call themselves believers, secretly are struggling with addiction to masturbation. Now, when we take a critical look at masturbation, in the physical realm, it's actually an addiction. But when it goes to the spiritual realm, there is a demon behind this whole masturbation thing. Now, when you are being possessed by this demon, trust me, there is no way you can quit unless the Spirit of God comes upon you. A young lady of 19 years, she felt so shy to record a video of herself, so she sent me an email telling me her story and how she was able to overcome this with just one Bible verse. This is what I want you to know. This lady claimed that she can masturbate for almost over 50 times a day. This is incredibly terrible. How can a demon possess someone to masturbate for 50 times within a day? This is crazy. And this is how the devil is using people, destroying the lives of people. So if you are facing challenges with masturbation, you are addicted to it, you want to stop, I want you to listen to the story of this sister. I'm going to share it right away. Please pay close attention, listen carefully, pray and seek discernment from God over this message. And then I know it is really going to help you. Thank you very much and God bless you.
Hi, Brother Joseph. I never thought I would be brave enough to write something like this. I have carried this pain inside me for so many years. Please help read through what I'm about to write and share it with your friends on your channel if you think it's okay. I have had pains that nobody ever saw because I hid it behind fake smiles and silence. There are nights I still wake up crying into my pillow, remembering the things I went through, wishing someone, anyone, had noticed how broken I was. But no one did. I was only 7 when my mom died. She was the only person who loved me like I mattered. I still remember her hugs, how she used to sing to me before I slept. But one day, she was gone forever, and the world became cold. My dad remarried not long after. He's a truck driver, always on the road, driving long miles, and sleeping in different towns. Sometimes I wouldn't see him for weeks, sometimes even a month. And when he came home, he was too tired to ask me how I was doing. He would just sleep. So, I grew up with my stepmom, a woman who never really saw me as her own. She cared for her son more than anything. She would cook his favorite meals, buy him new clothes, and hug him tight. But with me, it was always different. She spoke to me like I was a burden, like I was someone she wished wasn't there. I remember so many nights I cried alone on my bed, wishing my real mom was still alive. I wish my dad would look at me the same way he looked at my stepbrother. But no one ever came to wipe those tears. Most of the time, I felt like I didn't belong in that house. I would stay in my room for hours, trying not to get in anyone's way. Brother Joseph, everything started when I joined a new school when I was around 12 or 13. I was a quiet kid, always hoping to make a few real friends. Some girls in my class had phones, and during break times, they would show me videos. At first, they were just silly or funny clips, but after a while, the content became inappropriate. Things I knew deep down were not right for me to watch. They would laugh and say, "It's normal, everyone watches stuff like this." I didn't really understand much then, and because I had never owned a phone before, I was curious. More than anything, I wanted them to like me. I wanted to fit in and feel close to someone. So I kept watching with them. And before long, I found myself looking for those kinds of videos on my own. What I didn't know then was that I was opening a door to something demonic. I started to have strange dreams at night. One night, I dreamt that dark evil beings were around me, touching me, teaching me how to sin with my own body. I woke up scared, and I was confused and dirty. And after that night, the urge started. I began to touch myself. I didn't even understand what I was doing, but it became stronger and stronger. At first, it happened once in a while. Then it became a daily thing. Then several times a day. Before I realized it, I was completely addicted. I would do it in the morning, then again in the afternoon, and again at night. There were days I did it more times than I could even count. sometimes close to 50 times in one day. I couldn't control it. Sometimes when we are in class, the feeling for it will come, and I would leave class and run to the bathroom just to do it. I would lie to people saying I was sick or had a stomach problem, just so I could be alone. One time, I went to the mall with my stepmom, and in the middle of shopping, I felt the urge so strongly that I left and locked myself in the bathroom. I remember standing there, crying and hating myself, but still doing it. I stopped eating properly. I stopped talking to people. I stayed in my room for days. I felt disgusting. I felt like a prisoner. There were times I would feel physical pain and infections, and yet I still couldn't stop. I felt chained. I felt like my body no longer belonged to me. I wanted to scream. I tried everything. I watched videos and sermons about how to stop. I even read books. I prayed short prayers. I even thought about telling my dad, but when I tried calling him, he was too busy and said we would talk when he got home. I remember I tried telling my stepmom once, and she took me to a man who claimed he could counsel me, but he almost took advantage of me. When I told her what happened, she screamed at me and called me a liar. I stopped trusting anyone after that. I would sit in my room crying, begging God to help me. God, please, I don't want to do this anymore. Please, I hate myself. But nothing changed. I felt like God wasn't listening. I felt like maybe I was too dirty to be forgiven. I thought maybe this was my punishment. Then one afternoon, earlier this year, I was watching TV alone. A sermon came on about sexual sin and how it destroys your soul. I wanted to change the channel so badly because I felt ashamed, but something inside me said, "Don't change it. Listen." The preacher said, "There is no sin that God cannot break. If you submit to him and resist the devil will flee." I don't know why, but those words hit me hard. I turned off the TV, went into my room, and cried like never before. I cried for hours. I begged God, "Please, this time, please hear me. Please take this away." And 2 days after, I had a dream. I saw a man who was dressed like a pastor. He came to me and handed me a small piece of paper. When I opened it, there were 2 verses written on it, James 4, verse 7, and Psalm 34, verses 17 to 18. When I woke up, I quickly searched for them in my Bible. James 4, verse 7 said, "Submit yourselves therefore to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you." Psalm 34, verses 17 to 18 said, "The righteous cry, and the Lord heareth, and delivereth them out of all their troubles. The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit." I read those verses again and again, and I started to cry even more. I felt like God was speaking directly to me. I decided I would fast and pray. I didn't eat that day. I stayed in my room with my Bible, reading those verses and begging God. I told him, "I will submit to you. Please make the devil flee." My tears fell on the pages of my Bible. I was so desperate. I think a day or two later, I had another dream. In this one, those same demonic beings that used to torment me came again, trying to touch me. But this time I stood up and started speaking Psalm 34 out loud. As I spoke, fire came down from above and burned them away. They screamed and disappeared. And when I woke up, something felt different. I didn't feel the urge anymore. Brother Joseph, I don't even know how to explain it. From that day until now, I haven't had the urge to masturbate again. Not even once. It's like the addiction vanished. It's like God broke the chains. It's like I am finally free after all these years of slavery. Every time I think about it, I cry because I know it was not my strength. It was God. This is the biggest miracle I've ever experienced. I don't deserve it, but God gave me mercy anyway. I used to hate myself, but now I wake up and thank God every morning. I feel peace. I feel new. Sometimes I still feel too shy to tell people at church about my story. I'm scared they will judge me. But I also know there are many people hiding the same struggle, crying alone, thinking they can never be free. That's why I wanted to share this with you. because maybe someone out there will read this and know that God can save them too. Brother Joseph, please tell everyone who hears this story, repent and turn to God. There is nothing too strong for him, no addiction too deep, no sin too dark. Jesus can break every chain. And please tell them to prepare their hearts, because Jesus is coming soon. The rapture could happen any moment. We must be ready. We must be pure. Thank you for listening to my testimony. It's still hard for me to talk about, but I know that if it helps even one person find freedom, then it's worth it. All the glory belongs to God. With love, a sister who is finally free.
All right, thank you very much, and God bless you for listening to our dear sister's message to the end. I believe you heard everything that was stated in her story. This is quite sad. I feel so bad. Finding out what this sister has gone through in the past. Just 19 years old girl going through all this just because she was being possessed by a demon. It's very terrible. But thank God that God has been able to come in to save this girl. Now, let us look at the verse she was talking about. This sister says she came across this verse, which is James chapter 4, verse 7, which actually talks about resisting the devil and he's going to flee from you. So the moment you become a believer or a child of God, you have the power to resist the devil. And immediately you are able to resist him. It's simple. He's going to flee away from you. Now, how do you resist the devil? The word resist means to oppose or to stand against whatever that you want to resist. Okay. Now, anytime that the devil comes, you see, this whole thing, it's as if he comes and go. So immediately he comes and then you masturbate. Immediately you finish masturbating, you notice that the spirit is going to leave. And that's when you begin to regret and feel bad. Now, after a while, you notice that it will come back again. It will come back again to convince you to do what? To masturbate again. Now, this time when the spirit is coming, that's when you begin to feel that, let me just do this again. Let me do it for the last time. After doing this, I'm not going to do it again. Immediately you begin to feel that, immediately you begin to have that sense of getting back again to, masturbate. That is where you need to start opposing the devil. That is where you need to start resisting him. Immediately you begin to feel that you need to start praying. If you are alone, you need to get out. Don't always be in the room alone. Don't always be isolated. And even if you're isolated and then you begin to have this feeling of, masturbating again, just begin to pray. Just begin to pray. This is what this sister just said. And then based on what she said, she also called out a verse in Psalm 34, verse 17 to 18. This is one of the prayers that helped her to overcome the devil. And then immediately she started praying this prayer. The demon, the bad spirit or whatever did not come to her anymore again. And she's free. She's free. The blood of Jesus has completely saved this sister from the spirit of addiction. So if you are facing these challenges, if you are addicted to masturbation or whatever addiction you are going through, I want you to use the same principles of our dear sister that has helped her and has saved her. Okay, so James 4, verse 7, and then Psalm 34, 17, verse 18. I want you to take your time to study this word, and it is really going to help you, just like it helped our dear sister. God bless you, and thank you very much.